DriveSpark. This is Bharadwaj and that is the new Mercedes-Benz GLB SUV. Mercedes-Benz is introducing an all-new SUV and reintroducing their B-class segment in India. Also with this, Mercedes-Benz is also bringing an all-electric alternative to the GLB called the EQB, for which we have already done a video. Please do watch that as well. However, let's get into the GLB and let's see what this SUV is all about. Now, before we get into what is GLB and how is it to drive, let us discuss a few details about what a GLB is and how it will be offered in India when it will be launched in India on December 2nd. Based on sources, it will be arriving to India as a full CBU import, and on that note, prices for this is expected to lie around somewhere between 60 lakh, which puts it very close to the current generation GLC, which is also expected to get a makeover next year. Now, coming on to the colors and variants, this GLB is offered in 5 colors and it will be available in 3 variants, that is the petrol and 2 variants of the diesel. What you see right here is the top end model of the GLB, that's the 200D 4MATIC diesel powertrain. Now this comes with a whole host of features and also it is offered in AMG line as standard. On that note, let's get into the design details of this SUV. Starting with the SUV from the front fascia, you can see that it is very much distinct and it takes a lot of inspiration from its big brother, the GLS. Those design cues can be seen clearly. Full LED unit though, and also you get to see a large grille with a large Mercedes logo up front with a chrome studded grille also adding to the character. Finally, to top it off, you have a chrome bar sitting right at the bottom of the bumper to add some character and also look. Adding to the bulkiness and the butch looks of the SUV are these creases on the hood lines, which absolutely makes it look fantastic and more GLS-like. Now we move on to the side profile and I'll tell you everything you need to know on that side. Now we are looking at the side profile of the GLB and here you can see a distinctive SUV design, but there are traits of Mercedes-Benz design right here where you can see smooth body panels all across, but there is one strong shoulder line right here to give that SUV-ish stance, and also you have all around body cladding, and on the door sills you have a chrome strip right there running, which will make it look a little more premium and a dual tone-ish design. And also on the window line you have brushed aluminum finish to accentuate that SUV-ish premium design. You have a small kink right here on the quarter panel which gives it a little more enhanced look. And more on the feature side of the side profile, you get chunky door handles front and rear, you get a large ORVMs as well, a dual tone ORVM, you get roof rails right there, and most of all, the AMG line gets the 19-inch dual tone alloy wheels. The 5-spoke distinctive AMG wheels that you see on other AMG cars looks very good. Now this is the side profile of the GLB. Now it is time to check out the rear profile and also the interiors of the GLB. Now we are at the rear section of the all-new GLB and this is where you can see a distinctive similarity between the GLS and the GLB. The tail lamps are almost similar, though it's a little smaller, but the overall profile of that 3/4 rear, what you see here, that is absolutely GLS-like on the GLB, and Mercedes have done a fantastic job at that. So the rear design more or less remains the same. You get a Mercedes logo right there and a wraparound LED tail lamp split into 2. The first half is on the tailgate, mounted on the tailgate, and also you get a rear camera right here and a electronic power tailgate, which I'll show you in a moment. And you get a large chrome bar at the bottom of the bumper to enhance the look of the car, although these 2 vents what you see here are for exhaust and not real ones. Now we check out the boot space of the all-new GLB, and to access that all you need to do is a press on an electronic lever right here and the electronic tailgate opens up, which Mercedes calls it easy tailgate. And right here with all 7 seats up, you get around 130 to 150 liters of boot space, which is not much, but considering GLB is built on the same platform as the GLA, this is brilliantly designed by Mercedes is what I can say. However, dropping the rear seats down will open up a space of around 680 liters, and dropping the middle row seats down will open up a space of 1680 liters, and to drop the rear seat, all you need to do is just pull on the red tab right here and you can drop it down, which is very easy. Right here you can just drop it down, and subsequently you can drop down the rear seats, that's the middle row seats, from back there from the rear doors. So this is how easy it is to drop down the seats, and to bring it back up you can just pull on the rear seat and pull on the red tab and then bring it back right up, and you can do it the same way right here as well. So it gets a 50-50 split. Although if you want to carry 6 passengers and some more boot space is needed, you can drop out one of the rear seats and extend the boot space. So this is all about the design and also the boot space of the GLB. Now it is time to get inside and see how that third row looks like, which you're most interested in. Now I'm entering the third row seat of the GLB, and to enter that all you need to do is where you can just pull on the tab right here on the rear seat, that's the middle row seat, and push it forward. There's no tumble function right here, and that is the access that you get to move on the third row. Now let me try this challenging task that I have to get inside the third row, where I need to push in the leg like that, and I need to get inside like that. On that note, Mercedes themselves say that this row seat is reserved for children or pets. Large grown adults like us will not be able to fit, and we sit very high up. And if you want to check how the space will be, so this is at its most forward setting, and you can pull in a little back as well. So let me try to do that, give them a recline position. I have generous amount of leg room right here, although I'm sitting right up, and I have an adjustable headrest which I can deploy. This is only suited for very short distances for adults, but children themselves can sit comfortably here. However, there's no AC vent. You have one USB charging port on either side, and also you have a cup holder in the middle, but this is best suited for children and pets. I agree with Mercedes on that. So now I am sitting at the GLB's second row, that's the middle row, and this driver seat is set to my height. I am around 5'11", and here what you can see is this seat is at its rearmost position, and I have a lot of knee room right here, and also I have a leg room which I can tuck my feet under the seat, and I also have ample headroom. However, if you see a little bit close up, I'm sitting very upright. That's because I want to show a recline feature of the seat. It can be reclined up to 25 degrees. For that, you will need to put in some effort. That is to reach out to the handle right here, and you can recline it fully, and also deploy the center armrest right here, which has two cup holders neatly integrated into it. The center armrest is high up and is very comfortable to use, and also you get 3 adjustable headrests right there. Speaking of which, the third person or the middle person sitting right here in the second row will feel a little bit uncomfortable because of a raised center tunnel right here, so he'll have to split their feet and sit right here. But the 2 passengers sitting on the either side gets good under thigh support right there, and it is very good and is a breeze for long journeys, is what I wanted to tell. And other amenities on the center row is you get just the blow vents, you do not get any temperature control, and also funny enough, Mercedes has just given one single Type-C USB port right here. But if you've seen the video earlier, I pointed out that the third row gets 2 USB Type-C ports, but the middle row, even though it is seating 3 passengers, gets only a single Type-C USB port, which is a little bit iffy for me. And speaking of iffy, a net on a 50 lakh odd car for a seat back pocket is something that could have been better. But overall it is very comfortable, and I have a lot of leg room and knee room and also shoulder room. 3 abreast is a little bit tight here because it's a GLE platform, but the one thing that will give you a sense of spaciousness is the dual pane sunroof, which I can just show you right here after I deploy the sunshade, which I've taken the effort to. And you can see that this panel does not open up. However, this panel opens up to free up some air right there, but you get a lot of light in, and it creates a sense of spaciousness right here. Also, this being an AMG line, you get red stitching right here on the door panels, which looks very good, and also on the seats as well. Now I'm sitting at the driver's seat of the GLB, and this part right here, I will split it into three segments. That is, first I want to talk about the seats, and second I want to talk about the design of the dashboard, and third I'll be talking about the features. Starting with the seat, why am I starting with it is because it gets a lot of adjustment options. You get power seats on both the sides for the driver and the co-passenger. Even it has electronic adjust for lumbar support as well, and it has 3 memory functions with the seat adjustment as well. With that, you also get a under thigh support adjust right here, which you can extend it as per your convenience, and finally you get a 8-way power adjustable seat, which you can set it as per your preference. Now that is about the seat. Now one thing what I missed for the seats is it should have been ventilated. Now ventilation function is offered on cars that are much lower in segment as this. Owing to Indian hot conditions, that would have been a very welcome feature on the GLB. I hope Mercedes introduces that in future. However, as you can see, as it is being an AMG line, you can see red stitching right here on the seats, as you've seen in the back rear seats as well, and you get this nice Alcantara and leather dual tone finish, which absolutely looks fantastic. That is about the seat. Now let's move on to the design. Now with respect to the design, it's a very familiar dash. You would have noticed this on the lower Mercedes-Benz cars, that is the A-class cars, be it the GLA or the A-class sedan. Right here you get turbine style AC vents, which is a trait of a Mercedes-Benz design. You get this brushed aluminum finish that is distinctive to the GLB SUV, and also the dash is very minimalistic and clean, and thank God for Mercedes-Benz to give a hard set of buttons for the climate control right here. The overall fit and finish of the car is absolutely good. You can see a dual tone steering wheel with a flat bottom right here, looks very sporty, and it gets paddle shifters as well. Now that is about the design of the dashboard. Now let us move on to the final segment, that's the features, and it is loaded and brimmed with features. You get two 10.25-inch screens right here. One is the touchscreen infotainment system, and second is the instrument cluster. One of the most highly customizable instrument cluster in the automotive industry is what I want to emphasize on. Very clean looking dials and very good to use. So you get a ton of information and you can customize it as per your preference. And also it gets a dual zone climate control, as I mentioned. It gets Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and it gets 10 speaker sound system, which will enhance your overall driving experience, especially when it's paired with that ambient lighting. It is absolutely fantastic, and it will also help in improving the NVH levels of the cabin as well. And finally, to control the infotainment system right here, there are a couple of ways. One is Mercedes's famous MBUX technology that is offered with this GLB. You can use voice commands to operate certain features like opening sunroof and all that stuff. You have seen that in most of the Mercedes, actually all of the Mercedes models. However, there is a touchpad unit right here as well, which will help you control the infotainment system to control various features. There are a set of buttons right here which will also help in setting up the car with respect to the vehicle dynamics. There are a couple of drive modes which I'll be talking further in the video, and also you get to use a haptic touch button right here on the steering wheel, which will help you control the infotainment system on the left side and the instrument cluster on the right side, which is very easy to use and is familiar and feels very good to use those touch haptic buttons as well. Now these are all the features and design of the GLB. Now it is time to take this SUV out for a spin and let's go on a drive. So now we are driving the Mercedes-Benz GLB. As I mentioned, it's the 220D 4MATIC version. Now this is offered with the 2-liter diesel engine from Mercedes-Benz that is seen on the Mercedes GLA. So all the 3 engine options that is offered on the Mercedes-Benz GLA is also offered on the GLB, the 1.3-liter turbo petrol and the 2-liter diesel engine. Now the 2-liter diesel engine in this makes the same power figure as the GLA, that is 150 PS and 400 Newton meters of torque, and this engine comes paired to a 8-speed torque converter gearbox. Now the performance performance figures for this engine is rated by Mercedes-Benz as it achieves 0 to 100 in under 9 seconds, and also the top speed is claimed to be 220 km/h. And with that, let me speak a little bit about the characteristics of this engine. Now, this is a very peppy engine, is what I feel, very apt for the GLB. However, the 1.3 turbo petrol I feel would lack a little power, especially when it's fully loaded. There, although the engine makes more power, that's 163 PS, it delivers a lot less torque. That's the 250 Nm of torque what the 1.3 turbo petrol delivers. On that note, I would prefer the diesel engine on this, which is more potent and more suited to SUV application, because when this car is fully loaded with 7 people, it would require some torque to gain that momentum, and this particular diesel engine is what I feel will be up for the task. Now, on that note, let me speak a little bit about the other dynamics of the car. That's the handling and suspension setup. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is built on the same platform as the GLA. On that note, the characteristics is almost similar. The suspension setup is very well balanced. It is not on the stiffer side or also not on the softer side. It is very well balanced and gives a very good ride quality, better suited for Indian roads. On that note, if you're thinking about body roll, then definitely I will tell that this being a tall SUV, there is some amount of body roll. However, that is kept in check thanks to these well supported seats, but the passenger sitting at the rear seat, especially in the middle row or the third row, will feel that body roll, which is expected, this being an SUV. Moving to the braking setup, this gets all 4 disc brake and the braking is on point. I very much love how the braking is accurate on this, and it also has active brake assist, one of the active safety features of Mercedes-Benz, which is offered as standard. Now, that helps in emergency situations. Along with that, you have a ton of passive safety features as well. This gets up to 7 airbags and also gets EBD, hill descent control, hill hold, and all the other safety features that is required to make your life peaceful. One such feature is the 360-degree camera that is offered as standard on the Mercedes GLB, which will help navigating this SUV in tight spots. Now, moving on to the NVH levels of this car, I feel the diesel engine grunt could have been isolated a little better. However, using this 10-speaker audio system will help you cancel out those engine noises and gives you a serene experience, which I experienced it while driving on this test drive. Finally, I would like to add a few bits on the gearbox and also different drive modes that is offered on the GLB. Now, the gear shifts are very precise. Now, this is an improved 8-speed gearbox that is offered, which is similar to the GLA again, and the shifts are pretty smooth. It is on point and it definitely delivers a better driving experience. It is hassle-free, and if at all you want to do some sporty driving, you have the paddle shifters as well, and the gearbox reacts to each and every input very precisely and quickly, which is a good thing for an SUV. Moving on to the drive modes. Now, this is offered with 3 drive modes. That's the Eco, Comfort and Sport, where there is another drive mode called Individual, where you can set the car up as per your preference. Now, the drive mode corresponds to the engine behavior, steering behavior, and the ESP program and the ESP that is present on this car. Now, Eco means everything is soft and mellowed, and Comfort means it is best of both worlds. Neither it is hard as Sport, neither is it mellowed as the Eco. Now, with the Sport mode, as we were driving in the hills of Kodaikanal, I switched it onto the Sport mode and the steering became precise. The sharper throttle input helped, and I could navigate the curves with ease, even though it is an SUV. All in all, what I would like to sum up is this car features enhanced practicality over the GLA and also a little bit over the GLC as well. However, that is due for an update. But most of all, if you want to do a spirited driving as well, this car supports that behavior of the driver as well. Now, that was our review of the all-new Mercedes-Benz GLB. Now, the thought process behind introduction of this SUV is Mercedes-Benz want to offer another 7-seater SUV at a low price bracket when compared to the GLS. Now, what did you think about this idea of Mercedes-Benz introducing the GLB? Mention them in the comments below. Also, like and share this video and do subscribe to DriveSpark if you haven't done it already. This is Bharadwaj signing off. Stay safe and drive safe.